Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel, Crystal Loves DIY and Furniture Flipping. If you haven't guessed already, I'm Crystal, and I'm so excited you clicked on this video. I hope that you stick around and see some of the projects I get into. On this first video, I'm making some abstract art from a photo I got from the Goodwill for only $4.99. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. So I got this photo for only $4.99 at the Goodwill, and I decided to turn it into something that I can hang on my walls. So here I'm just removing the staples, and at first I started using scissors, and I realized that that was going to take way longer than I needed it to. And so I ended up using a flexible putty knife, and you'll see it here soon. I move a lot faster throughout the video. Here I'm just showing you the sample paints I got from Valspar. I went to Lowe's and they were able to make me every paint that I asked for about $4. And then I had some sponges from the dollar store and the mixing stick from Lowe's for free. Here's the painting that I was getting ready to just paint all the way white to cover up these flowers here. This is during the first layer of paint. I took about 3 layers of paint to get it fully covered. On this next slide, you're going to see the second layer after it was fully dried. I went in again with a third layer. And right about here is where you see that I spilled half the can of paint. This was one of my favorite parts, getting to pick all the colors that you wanted and mixing them together to make them what you want them to be, and then adding some baking soda for the texture. Abstract art is cool because you don't have to have a specific design. So when it came to adding some visible texture, I went with some DryDex. I like the DryDex because it goes on pink. And once it gets dry or semi-dry, it starts turning white. It doesn't get completely white like I thought it would. It turns into this really light pink, and then I just went over it in another color and made the design what I wanted it to be. I decided to add another element to my design, and so I used a comb from the dollar store to do so. I just wanted to add a little bit of extra texture, and the comb did that for me. Okay, everyone, I'm just gonna let you sit back and relax. And if you're painting with me, paint and enjoy. And I'll be back with you again shortly. Now, I didn't forget the frame. I wasn't quite sure what I was going for with this spray paint, but I ended up loving it. I thought that when I was spraying, it was just really splotchy, and I looked at the can again, and it was like this copper hammered look. So it's supposed to be splotchy in places. If you look closer, if you can get closer, you'll see what I'm talking about. It just looked like I needed to keep going over it. I went through almost half this can before I realized that this was how it was supposed to look. And you see here, I kind of made a mistake. I should have took this tape off, should have never had the tape on to begin with. But I also think that it could have been easier if I would have went over this frame with a white, like a primer, and then started spray painting over it. I think it would have made it a lot more seamless. But that's just something that I know for the future, and something that you can just take heed of right now and not make my same mistake. Here is where I really wish I would have started with the primer. I realized that it was not covering the way that I wanted it to, so I ended up taking a paper towel and just wiping it down and kind of using it as a primer, and I was able to, in the end, get the coverage that I wanted. Now, I was gonna remove this part from the video because it showed a big mistake that I made, and I got pretty frustrated throughout this process. I saw a lot of videos and a lot of people saying that you can remove spray paint from glass with just acetone, and I did not realize that I had used so much spray paint that probably it was not going to be an easy task, and it wasn't. Um, I definitely used that whole bottle, and I think that I could have saved myself a lot of trouble by just removing it, taking the time to remove it, because it was hard to take out, which is why I left it in. But if I would have just took the time in the first place to take it out, I wouldn't have had to go through this. Here's what the photo used to look like, and then here's what it looks like after all my hard work. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. And if you did, again, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.